How are you guys liking Austin? I know you're frequenting of Austin before, but is this your first time here?
Yeah, everyone loves Austin,
Yeah.
especially like the LA bohemian types are like, I gotta get out of LA, man. I'm going to Austin. So I like it. It's beautiful.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Whole Foods is epic.
Yeah, the biggest Whole Foods in the whole
I'm just so sad you didn't like experience food while you were here.
Whole Foods.
I know Whole Foods is amazing.
Yes.
But like you know,
I
have
know.
Tex-Mex and
I know.
Uchi and
Next time, I'm here.
next time.
Let's do it.
So, did you guys see the original Red Dawn?
I actually hadn't seen the original Red Dawn. When I met with Dan and read the script, it got to this moment where I felt like it would be better if I didn't watch the original, because while it was definitely paying homage to the original and there were these great seminal moments that people had fallen in love with, I just wanted to be true to what we were doing now and sort of the take on the character that our writers came up with, and Dan as well. So the day we finished shooting, I watched the entire movie, and then I watched it again. I probably watched it like 4 or 5 times for the entire week that we had finished. But yeah, it just made me proud to be a part of it and realize that I'll never attain Sheen greatness. But I can do my best to get maybe halfway there. I don't know.
That's fine.
I had never seen Red Dawn until I actually booked the part, and then I was like, well, maybe I should. I had the opposite reaction. I was like, I should probably see this just to, see what I'm doing. And but the movies are very different, and it was just fun to actually see something that people had been talking about for so long, and gotten mad at me for redoing, like it was my fault.
Now, how did you guys get into characters with this? I mean, you play such a badass in this movie, and then you played such a cool character too. I mean, like, how did you guys approach getting into character for this role specifically?
No showering for weeks on end. We had to train with I trained with Navy SEALs for 3 weeks, and then with some Marines and whatnot. So I just had to butch myself up, man. I had to embrace my masculinity and go to the deepest reaches to find it. But it worked, I think, maybe.
Well, I'm just naturally a badass, so
sure.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
But no, I mean this was super fun. We went through a military camp and trained with Marines, and I grew up around guns, so it was I'd been shooting my whole life, so it wasn't anything really super new. But there was definitely training involved, but I think a lot of it was kind of organic, because they didn't want us to be too trained.
Sure.
Part of it is that we are this group of kids who just learn how to do this on a whim. So I think they trained us enough to look like we knew what we were doing, but not to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up around guns too, but mostly because of my affiliation with the Crips and the Bloods.
Oh, right.
Of course,
Yeah.
right.
The gang.
The gang. Just the gang. Yeah.
So what attracted you guys to this project? What made you think, yeah, this is the one that I have to do? What got you into it?
Somewhere between them agreeing to put me in it.
To say it's a job.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there have been times when I've been working and sort of had a very clear idea of what I thought was the best thing, or what would be the most fulfilling job to take or role to play next. And then it's funny how life has a way of, revealing itself to be exactly what you need at the time. And so for me, I found that with this movie, it was a challenge. It was taking me places that I'd never been before. Especially with the preparation and getting to a place where I felt really comfortable and felt as though maybe I'd earned the my place on the team. And so yeah, it was an opportunity to do something that was so truly action and entertaining, but also I thought was a great performance and character piece, or the chance to.
Exactly. I mean, the script was great as far as, there were these really amazing characters involved in there, and it's exciting, the idea to get to do your own stunts, which was sort of a prerequisite for us doing this movie. I mean, Dan was really, really adamant about the fact that he wanted to do as much as possible with us to make it look as realistic as possible. And so that was really fun. That was challenging.
I mean, this is definitely an intense movie. I mean, it doesn't seem real yet, but I mean, back to the original, I mean, that was a very real threat. Do you think people can still feel that same threat watching it now?
I don't know. I mean, I hope that this movie just is truly kind of exactly what we intended it to be, which is sort of a great action piece. It's total fantasy and escapism. You know, it's I don't think we tried to make it anything more than that. But you know, our director Dan is such an artist when it comes to creating action sequences, and really, it's one thing to create the sequence, but then to be able to capture it in a way that will translate for the audience and have that visceral, real reaction. I think kind of that was the exercise.
So, and speaking on what you said, I mean, pure fantasy, do you think people will be able to see this, especially since it's coming out right after elections, do you think people will be able to see this as just pure fantasy, or do you think they'll really look at this as some really big political message, do you think?
I think inevitably there's always going to be people that are, yes, that take it too seriously, and absolutely there's, I mean, I assume there'll be conflicting viewpoints, and it might polarize some people, but I hope the majority just enjoys the movie for exactly what it is, and they're able to sort of leave it in the theater.
How do you feel Coach Taylor would approach a North Korean attack on Taylor, Texas?
How would he?
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go here. You're gonna go here. Don't talk back to me. He would be very, very good at that. In fact, I would love Coach Eric Taylor at my back if something like that happened. I think the majority of America would too.
And then for you, how do you think Drake and Josh would approach a North Korean attack on San Diego?
Wow. I think Drake and I would fall apart and start crying for a moment, and then maybe we would enlist the help of our little sister Megan and draw up some big master plan. Perhaps our friends Craig and Eric rally at the movie theater and just fight back, no matter how ridiculous.
Well, I think Hollywood, if you're listening, I think we have ideas for spin-off movies right here.
There you go.
This is happening.
That's happening right here.
Well, thank you guys so much. That's all I have for you. I think it's been a pleasure talking to you guys, and thank you so much, all right?